I have a confession to make.
What's that?
I hate Thanksgiving.
It's not one of my favorite holidays either. I'm not a foodie guy. Like,
Same.
yeah, and like being around my family was never a lot of fun for me. I didn't have anybody my age other than my cousins that I got to see like on those holidays, and they were assholes, so I didn't really want to hang around with them.
Right.
So,
yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Some of my fonder memories of Thanksgiving definitely revolve around going out and spending time with some of the extended family I didn't see. And rose-colored glasses, I'll say that.
Rosé blob glasses.
Rosé blob colored glasses. Nostalgia is definitely taken over in that regard.
Yeah.
I'm sure I hated it back then. But
like, I don't even have that much nostalgia factor for it. It's just...
Yeah, but I mean, I'm with you on 100%. Like, I'm not a food person. I'm a notoriously picky eater.
Same here.
And
like, a lot of that is, like, for at least for me, it's for very quasi-valid reasons. Not that there's not a valid reason to be a picky eater. You just do you. But, like, I don't have a sense of smell, so my taste buds are completely fucked.
That's a large part of mine.
Yeah. And, like, I'm allergic to so much or can't digest so much.
Yeah, I don't tick those two boxes.
But it's like, there's so much that I can't eat. It's like my Thanksgiving dinner would be, a couple of pieces of turkey, some mashed potatoes, and like usually some mac and cheese or something.
Right. Yeah. My
like,
my plate is usually a piece of turkey that I'll eat, but I don't like to eat. I'm not a turkey guy. Some mashed potatoes, usually without the gravy.
Yeah.
And like a roll.
Yeah.
Like a buttered roll. That's my Thanksgiving dinner usually.
Like I'm fine with turkey. I don't mind it, but it so has to be cooked correctly, and it almost never is. Like, it's usually just this dry, dead meat.
Yeah.
And if you can have somebody who knows what they're doing to smoke the turkey, that's good, where it's just fall off the bone, like, melty. But, I mean, after that, you can do the part of Thanksgiving that you might actually like, which is go around and have ice cream in places.
This is something I am unfamiliar with.
Like, go to, your different family's places or your friends' places for dessert and stuff.
Oh,
Not actually go over for the meal, but just go over and be like, I'm having some ice cream and pie or whatever of dessert you have.
Fair. Then again, I'm not
I know
a
you're
pie
not,
guy either.
Yeah,
but
you
anyway,
like ice cream.
Okay, I mean, I'll eat a small amount. Okay, I think we've talked about you and me basically functionally being the same person long enough. We need to talk about a certain movie that we decided to watch.
Do we? I'd rather talk about like Thanksgiving dinner some more.
So welcome to Creature Crunch, the podcast where we take a turkey, hack it up, gobble it down, and then something about a crunch. My name is Matt.
And I'm a designated turkeyologist.
And we're here to talk about ThanksKilling.
Yeah. That's what we're here for, I guess. This was a rough one.
Yeah, okay, so I want to preface this entire episode by saying that ThanksKilling is the type of movie that Chris and I do not get into.
I have problems with bad on purpose movies. It's the difference between, and I think we talked about this before on other episodes.
We talked about it definitely during the Ernest episode a little
Right.
bit, and we also talked about it in our intro,
Right.
episode 0.
But like there's such a huge gulf of difference between Birdemic 1 and Birdemic 2. And this is Birdemic 2 for me.
Yeah, so
and I know a lot it don't see it like that. It has like a huge cult following.
There are people that legitimately enjoy that type of movie. The horrible for the sake of being horrible. And you know what? If that's your type of movie, go you.
Chase your bliss, man.
Right,
I'm not going to stop you, but this ain't for me.
Yeah, it's not us. It's definitely not us.
No.
And I'll harp on it a little bit more. I will preface not only the spoiler warning here, but also if you legitimately like this movie, you might want to skip this episode.
This is a skipper for you.
Yeah. So honestly, as far as recommending it goes, I call this one a big pass myself, but that's just for me.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you consider, like I said in the episode 0, that I tend to like the more serious nature of a lot of films.
I can dig a horror comedy.
But yeah, no, I mean, I can get into comedy horrors, but
Right.
that, like, not this genre is not.
Yeah,
me.
it's...
I prefer...
you know what it is? What this is it reminds me of Tim and Eric.
Uh-huh.
Where it's that sort of anti-humor. It's like funny. It's supposed to be funny because it's not funny. And I never really got into that, even though I kind of like actual Tim and Eric. Like, I like some of the other stuff they've done.
Yeah.
I didn't really ever get into that show for the same reasons, because it's like the joke is that...
There's no joke.
Is that there's no joke, or that it's not funny, or that it's exaggeratedly not funny and stuff like that.
Right,
And,
exaggeratedly not funny, I think, is the
Yeah.
key. Because that's what this movie relies on. And for me, in my comedy, and this goes as far as all comedy, for
Right.
me, it has to be clever writing.
Yeah.
There has to be some thought and effort, like legitimate effort put into it. Not to say that effort wasn't put into this film,
No.
but it can't be just dick joke followed by
that's...
gay joke followed
God,
by it's funny, just like the guy wants to fuck a turkey, isn't that hilarious? No,
Yeah.
it's not funny, not to me anyway, but
Yeah.
we'll get into that a little bit more.
I mean, like, if we want to get into the movie, like, you know what you're in for from the very first shot of the movie.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about this. I'm going to get into this. Before we actually get into the movie, though, I do want to talk a little bit about the director and some of the people that worked on it, because there is some legitimate, interesting things going here.
Yeah.
It was written and directed by Jordan Downey, and co-written by Brad Schultz, Tony Wilson, Grant Yaffe, and Kevin Stewart. So this movie had the creative talents of 5 different people behind the writing force.
That is insane.
It is insane, and...
For a movie that just barely squeaks past an hour.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, I don't know these people. I'm not familiar with their work beyond this, but to me, 5 people should have been able to write a better joke than anything in this movie. But anyway, Downey was apparently an intern under Wes Craven.
Okay.
And this was his first film, and he went on to make a few other horror comedies in a similar vein to this, until he finally made a movie called The Headhunter, which I just looked up today. Looks legitimately really good.
Yeah, you were telling me kind of a short synopsis of it, and it sounds interesting, if nothing else.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up the trailer after this episode, but after we finish recording. But yeah, that might be a Creature Crunch movie. If nothing else, I'm gonna watch it. So I mean, and based off of that trailer alone, like, Downey clearly has a lot of talent and skill, and I mean dedication as well. I while researching this movie, I found out that he himself made the turkey puppet.
Oh, really?
And he crafted it in his bathroom. And
okay. I mean,
I
is one of the better looking things in this movie.
Yeah, like, I make a few jokes that it doesn't look great, but for a home project by one guy, like, no, that's like, I mean, I couldn't do it.
Honestly, that was for me, one thing I have to say in this movie's favor is that a lot of the effects don't look terrible considering what the movie is.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like the gore effects look
The
fine.
gore effects actually didn't look too bad. There was one scene that I had a gripe with, but but I mean, no,
they're definitely
not
passable for something like this.
Right.
The turkey puppet, like, I mean, it doesn't look like a turkey, but like an actual living turkey, but it's not supposed to.
Right.
Like, it looks like what it is. It looks like a kind of neatly designed turkey puppet.
Yep. Schultz, on the other hand, went on to create a series parody of Game of Thrones called Gay of Thrones.
Oh, so we know where all of
where the humor came from.
Yeah, where all of the homophobic stuff in this movie came from.
Yep.
Probably. I mean, who could say?
Yeah,
but
I mean, there were 3 other people beyond those 2 that worked on this, so who knows?
Yeah.
But the movie, as we said, it starts up with a close-up shot of a boob. A naked boob.
I just about when that started, I just about turned this off and texted you and saying, no, I'm sitting this one out. Sorry, you're doing this. You're flying solo on this one, buddy.
Well, I appreciate you not doing that. We're a team.
Yeah,
but
I am at least 45% of the team.
But it starts up with the close-up shot of the boob. And before we go any further than this, I have to say that Mr. Downey here apparently adores close-up shots.
Yeah.
I felt uncomfortably close to every single actor in every single shot, and I hated it.
It was really... It was a choice that was made. Like,
oh gosh, it was bad.
I don't think you ever see anybody's feet in this movie. I think
only when they are like intentionally in the air.
Yeah.
When they're literally rolling around on the floor. But anyway, this boob belongs to Wanda Lust is her name, whose IMDb page has a single trivia note about her, and that is tattoos, right middle arm front.
Nice.
That is it.
Okay.
We get some turkey vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Miss Lust is playing is credited a topless pilgrim who's running through the woods from a bad turkey puppet, wielding a tomahawk.
Yeah.
He quips,
"Nice tits, bitch,"
and kills her. That's the kind of movie we're in for.
You are going to know if you are on board with this movie from that scene.
Yeah.
Like, that is the entire movie in a
nutshell.
10-second clip.
Yep. So, Jordan Downey voices the turkey, whose name is Turkie, spelled with an I-E instead of a Y.
I didn't know that. I thought you were just misspelling turkey on purpose.
Nope. Nope. So that's also the kind of clever writing that this movie has.
And every time the turkey talks, he starts with a laugh.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, like I want to see the either the epic rap battle or like the death battle between this turkey and Triumph, the insult comic dog.
Yeah.
We get a title sequence and opening credits that put way too much effort in over a synthy horror track with turkey gobbling interlaced within.
And they are long credits, honestly.
They go for a while, and you get some wild names in those.
Yeah,
I'll cover some of the cast as we go, but we already hit the one with Wanda Lust.
Yeah, and then there's Chuck Dead Body Guy Lamb.
So there's a story there. We'll get to it.
Okay.
But at this point, I was at this point already like, I'm not going to like this movie. I knew I wasn't going to like this movie. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to stay positive and point out all of the good things in this movie. First good thing, the leaves are very pretty. It's fall on it looks like a high school campus. Every synopsis and everything I read afterwards says it was supposed to be college.
I was wondering because
either way, these guys are way too old to be here, but
definitely for high school.
But I will say, spoiler alert, that is the very last thing that I say good about this movie.
Yeah.
Almost, just about. But we open this movie proper with, I call them college students just because all of the synopses define them as such. But we get the 40-year-old college students leaving campus for Thanksgiving break. These people are Billy, who's played by Aaron Carlson, who I could find nothing else about. And Johnny, played by Lance Predmore, who apparently only acted in one other thing called Elementary and Education in Death.
That's a pretty good name.
Billy is the token redneck fat kid, and Johnny is the token jock. You'll notice that pretty much every character in this movie has the stereotype, and that is a very clear decision. And but the thing is, again, that's the joke in this, and it gets tired. Well, let's just face it. It was an already tired gag before, and
a lot of these were played out in the 70s, and this is 40 years later.
Yeah, so this movie came out in 2008, and that trope was already tired by then.
Yeah.
So, but Billy is just so excited that it's Thanksgiving break that he mostly rips off his shirt.
Yeah.
In hopes that Allie, who's played by Natasha Cordova, whose Google image search is of her, like the first result is of her face down while getting fucked, so I'm sure that she loves
bummer.
that.
Well,
it's from this movie.
No!
Yeah, no, it's that scene. It's the scene where she's doggy styled down. Like, it's like I feel bad for this actress.
Yeah, I have to imagine, like we were talking about, like how old these characters are supposed to be. I think they're supposed to be high school, and here's my like justification for that. When I was in college, we never got the week off for Thanksgiving. We'd have Thanksgiving off, and then maybe the Friday after.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
And I can't imagine college students getting this pumped over having 2 days off.
Right. No, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, I think that's also part of the joke, though, because, who the hell... I mean, kids, sure, but who the hell is that excited? He treats it like it's spring break, and that's the joke. That it's supposed to be theirs, like... the parody on that.
Allie even is like, it's spring break.
Yeah, because Allie is the token ditzy slut, and she complies with him by lifting up her shirt, and then the token good girl, Kristen, played by Lindsay Anderson, who is now a weather forecaster for a Kansas City news program.
I have to wonder how much shit she gets for being in this movie.
Yeah. But she tells Allie to put them away because it's not, and I quote, Titsgiving.
Pull your shirt down, honey. It's Thanksgiving, not Titsgiving.
And then we have a weird transition. Well, not a transition effect. We have this weird point where the video speeds up from them walking.
Okay, I thought it was a glitch with me watching it, like I was having some interlacing problems or something.
Nope.
But since you brought that up too, no, that's just part of the movie.
Yeah, no, I guess they probably just filmed the scene of them walking from like one point to another, and were like, this is taking too long, but we don't want to cut it because our movie is already too short. I don't know. It's weird. But then we're introduced...
There were choices made.
Yeah, then we're introduced to the token nerd, Darren, played by... Go ahead.
Okay, so not just a nerd. He's a horny nerd.
Oh, yeah, the virgin.
Yeah.
The quote-unquote virgin.
Yeah.
Who's played by Ryan Francis, who I also couldn't find any more info about.
I hope these people, like, lived through the production of this movie. And they didn't just become missing people after this.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of people who just vanished off the face of the earth.
Well, I mean, let's be frank. They're probably Downey's friends.
I mean, it's
probably
true.
I got another little bit of trivia that he hosted auditions in his garage.
Okay.
So they're either his friends or his neighbors, one of the two.
Yeah.
But Billy says that Darren is a friend of his who's...
It's cool, man. He's with me. A little weird. You get used to it. Cool.
He then proceeds to treat Darren like trash.
I glazed over because I was already kind of out of this movie by this point.
Yeah.
But when I glazed over the fact that Billy said that Darren was his friend.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
And I thought he was just like, oh, okay, he invited himself along on this trip and no one told him no.
Yeah, no, I glazed over that too until my second, kind of brush
because
up.
Billy treats him like absolute garbage in this movie.
Now, I do have to say that, for me growing up, that's actually not a far pull for me.
I mean,
I had a friend, one of my best friends. He was my best man at my wedding. Love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I respect him a lot. He's a great man. But growing up, he and I were good friends. But whenever you introduced a third party into our dynamic, anybody else, I was the punching bag, and I got these types of jokes against me from him.
Yeah.
There's some realism in the way that Billy treats Darren.
Yeah, I guess so.
I honestly don't think that was intentional. I think it's supposed to be, look, they're best friends, or they're good friends, but haha, look how badly he treats Billy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the joke. But it actually kind of resonates with me.
Okay.
But yeah, Darren is intentionally and overly gross for some reason. He keeps wiping his mouth with these gross sounds. And I'm not sure if the implication is just to try to make this guy look pathetic and not likable.
I don't know.
I hate it. That's all there is to it. I hate it. And if it's at this point that I'm like, the camera needs to back the fuck up from the actors.
There was a couple scenes where I thought we were gonna crawl inside Darren.
No, it's so bad. But after introducing himself to Darren, Johnny shows off his muscles. Darren is impressed until Billy makes a penis joke at him.
Yeah.
And then I have the note, oh, thank God, a commercial.
Oh, which service did you watch this on?
I watched it on Tubi.
Me too.
Yeah.
Weren't those commercial breaks the best thing?
Yeah, they were long and very needed.
They were like 5-minute commercial breaks, and usually that bothers me. This time it's like, okay, no, I get to collect myself for 5 minutes before we continue on.
No, I noted every single time I got one.
It was just like...
Now, I don't know if it was the same for you, but every time it returned from a commercial break, the movie would be frozen, and I would have to, backtrack it by a few seconds in order for it to continue. So the movie, for me, the movie didn't even want to continue. After the commercial break, the group all pile into Johnny's Jeep and drive off, with Billy still exclaiming his excitement over Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
And we cut to a scene in the woods where a man named Oscar is walking with his dog, Flashy.
See, I didn't know his name was Oscar, and I kept thinking he called his dog Lassie.
I kept thinking that too.
Because it's a collie, isn't it?
It is a collie.
So, yeah.
And I kept thinking that too until later on he says it again and I heard it more clearly, and then the credits actually credited as Flashy. But
okay.
And he refers to himself as Oscar a few times. It's just
okay.
I'm not invested in anything I wasn't invested in anything these characters were saying, and
Right.
it was during my second scrub through that I picked up a lot of this stuff.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
Oscar is played by a gentleman named General Bastard.
Good name, good Christian name.
He is also the one who made the music for this movie.
Okay, and see, the music wasn't a bad part for me. It
wasn't.
was serviceable.
It was. I mean, the intro even, like, there were a few points where it's like, okay, this is a little grating, but it wasn't bad. It was not bad at all.
Yeah. Also, there was kind of a butt rock song playing when they're driving around for a bit, and I kind of dug that. I don't know who did that one, but... Maybe it was General Bastard.
General Bastard is the one who
Okay.
did the music, so... Future Matt here, did a little bit of research after the recording, and it turns out that this song is actually a song by the band Overrated, which evidently, from what I've read, is a female-fronted band. This is their song, and actually, Ryan E. Francis, the actor who plays Darren, is the drummer for this band. General Bastard, on the other hand, while he did compose a lot of the music and write the music for this movie, he had nothing to do with this song, but I did finally find out that he is now a solo artist, but used to be a guitarist for a band called The Mentors. Just thought that was a little bit of interesting and wanted to do some due diligence, since I didn't put all that much research into this, apparently. So, back to the episode. But Flashy runs off and then ends up urinating on a little tiny totem pole that awakens Turkie, I guess.
I looked away to check something on my phone, and when I looked up, my screen was just full of dog piss, and I was upset.
That is fair. The turkey then kills Flashy.
Yeah.
Because now this movie wants to murder a dog. So
the dog got out.
The dog did not live in this movie.
The dog escaped this movie. It came in, it did what it needed to do, and it left.
We cut back to the kids driving through a different season. The intro shot with all of the pretty fall leaves is the only time we see that. Everything else looks like it was shot in summer.
Yeah, it's very true.
They exchange some very cringy banter, and then Johnny starts getting sentimental about his father, who I guess taught him how to throw a football.
And then we get this, like, sepia-toned flashback of him catching a football, and I thought, okay, that's supposed to be his father. Maybe his father died or something like that. No,
it's him, and we don't see his father in the flashback. Or maybe it was supposed to be his father. I don't know. We only see one person in this flashback.
Yeah. And, like, we learn that Johnny and his father are at odds because Johnny's not jock enough for him, I guess.
Yeah, we'll cover that when we get to it. After this little flashback, Kristen asks Billy what he's thankful for, and he gives a weird little bit of exposition, saying that his dad died last year, and that now...
My papa died last year. I guess I'm just grateful that I still got my little mama. I'm gonna show her a good time this Thanksgiving.
Aw, Billy, that is so sweet.
And that is a wild sentence.
I had to stop for a moment, and I was just like, okay, is he talking about his actual mother? Is he talking about his girlfriend? Are they the same person?
You know what? He's the token redneck.
Yeah.
As defined by the Wikipedia.
Right.
That's a possibility, but I didn't like the words he said.
No.
And I don't like
very many of the words he says.
That's true. Darren proclaims that he is going to...
I'm gonna go wild. I'm gonna go buck wild on this trip.
And
I'm gonna go skinny dipping without any clothes on.
As opposed to skinny dipping with clothes on.
Mm-hmm, traditionally.
Yeah.
He's going to...
I'm gonna ghost ride the whip, man. Woo!
And then he declares that he's going to...
I'm gonna have sex with someone in this car. I'm gonna be the one doing the sexing. Yeah, to one of you.
Oh, I hated that. I hate everything about everyone. It was at this point I wanted everyone in the movie, like all of these characters, to die. I wanted the turkey to get him.
Yeah. I think I had that note a few times in my original thoughts.
Yeah. The only person who comes out of this with any dignity is General Bastard.
Allie is firmly established as the slut, and Kristen tells her,
Oh, please, Allie. Your legs are harder to shut than the John Benet Ramsey case.
Oh, snap.
A timely reference for 2008?
yeah. So, we then cut to Kristen's father, who is Sheriff Roud, being served literal shit coffee by his wife, who informs him that she wants a divorce.
And he has the best fake mustache I've ever seen.
So, yeah, it was... Oh, my God. Now, Roud is played by Chuck Lamb.
Yeah.
Who, as you mentioned, is credited as dead guy Chuck Lamb. He's apparently made moderate success playing dead bodies in movies.
Okay.
Near as I can tell, his movie and TV credits are relatively slim, and they're mostly obscure titles, which, of course, that means I'm not familiar with them, so they may be more mainstream. I don't know, but apparently he's won awards.
From who?
There's a variety of things.
Is there like some sort of awards category that gives them out?
The New York Times, I think, was one of them.
What?
Yeah, let me double check this really quick. Let me fact check a second here. Yeah, he obtained coverage around the globe. His website was noticed by Mike Harden of the Columbus Dispatch.
Okay.
The following week, he was on the front page of the national section of the New York Times.
Wow.
And he has been called a global phenomenon by the Associated Press. And in his hometown magazine, Columbus Monthly, they named him Best Dead Guy in the Best of Columbus issue.
Okay, well.
A collection, apparently a collectible set of trading cards was also issued and sold out very quickly.
Okay, that's kind of funny. I like that.
So, yeah, this man has some dead guy notoriety, and that is why he is credited as that.
Way to go, Mr. Lamb, I guess.
So,
I mean, can't, you know.
Yep.
This lamb has some chops.
I'm going to leave that silence in. The Jeep... Meanwhile, the Jeep breaks down, and the kids pull over on the side of the road. Johnny says it overheated, but Allie thinks that it might just be a flat tire.
Oh.
Because if you didn't know yet, she's supposed to be dumb.
Yeah, like 90% of my responses in this movie was just me going, "Oh," in like exceedingly exaggerated ways. My notes had an increasing number of caps lock use as the movie went on, but Billy suggests that they camp out right there because they already have the tents and beer. Everybody else thinks that idea is the best. Yeah.
We got tents and beer. Let's party here tonight.
Yeah, that sounds awesome!
Yeah,
And then, like, Allie continues to hit on Johnny, and I loved it that Kristen actually gives the exact same look that my soul was giving the entire time in the movie.
This was,
and then it shows us the full moon in a very, very poor like stock footage selection. Like you could see the pixels around the moon. It was like it was impressive.
It's a good comp shot, man.
Yep. While walking away from the road, Darren comes across a sign that says Crawberg, which he suddenly remembers a legend about, and he shares this with the others.
Mm-hmm.
And this is done in a strange, like, animated...
It's almost animated, like...
it's... Somebody went through and drew caricatures of the people and events in this, and I mean... I knew that a movie titled ThanksKilling was not going to handle Native Americans with the most grace or poise, but woof.
Yeah.
So the story is in a settlement known as Crawlberg, a Native American named Feathercloud was dishonored by a pilgrim who is the ancestor of Billy for some reason.
This never comes into play.
I think it was just an excuse to draw Billy as a caricature.
Yeah.
A very gross caricature. But Feathercloud, and I quote,
Feathercloud necromanced Turkie.
I don't think that's how you verb that.
The movie uses it twice.
Yeah, I know.
Necromancer.
They failed twice.
that would rise once every 500 years to kill people or something. Like they say that it's meant to go after the white man, and I'm not sure if the movie is trying to make a statement one way or another. I don't know, but
I can't
I
imagine
think
this movie's making any sort of statement. Here's the thing. It's not as bad as I was expecting.
that's fair.
I was expecting, when I heard the plot synopsis for this movie and we watched the trailer, I was expecting so much worse. So much worse.
Yeah.
So, like, that this is the extent of how bad it gets, pretty much, like, with a couple scenes later. But, like, it's like, okay, it's bad. It's very, very, very bad. I was not expecting it to restrain themselves this much.
Yeah, I'm glad that wasn't the focus of the movie.
Yeah.
I would have turned it off at that point.
Yeah.
I don't
like,
think
this
I could have sat through this. But yeah, so evidently Turkeologists all around the world have studied and written books.
That's a sentence.
Yeah, they've studied and written books about this legend, and it is known as ThanksKilling.
Yeah.
They made the joke that I wanted to make.
I am so worried that this review is not going to, or like this episode is not going to come out very well, because it's just going to be you synopsizing and me slowly curling into like a little crustacean over here and moaning.
Well, we thought Carnosaur was going to turn out bad, and it turned out okay. So,
Yeah.
in fact, I've gotten compliments on how good it turned out. So,
Yeah, from me.
and from my wife.
I don't know if we count.
Johnny scolds Darren for scaring them in front of the girls. And on my first watch through, I thought it was like, you're going to scare the girls. But on my second scrub through, I actually I reinterpreted this scene in that he was getting scared.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to look scared in front of the girls.
That was kind of clever.
Which makes it better. Again, not sure if that was the intent.
I think it was. Or at least I think that's how the actor chose to play it. And it works. Like, that was kind of funny.
No, that right there.
And like,
a tick towards the more clever.
There's a couple of clever lines and line reads in this. They're just far outweighed by everything else. There's like a couple kernels of corn in this shit mountain.
Yeah.
I don't want to go digging for them, but they're there.
Kristen and Allie both vie for Johnny's attention. Apparently these kids who went for a camping trip didn't bring enough tents for some reason. They brought 2 tents.
Do they ever say where they're going?
No.
Okay.
No, because and honestly, I don't even know what they were doing, because when Kristen calls her dad, she tells him she'll be home in a few hours.
Right.
I don't know. You can't peer at it too, Chris, we can't peer at this too hard or it'll peer back. We cut over to Oscar, who is searching for Flashy, and finds Turkie, who taunts Oscar about killing his dog, asking her a question or something like that. It's not that joke. I didn't write the joke down. I didn't care. It's accidentally. Anyway, whatever. It was an axe pun. It was bad.
Yeah, and they explain it just a hair too much for it to be anything.
A hair too much for it to be funny, but not enough to be stupidly funny. I don't know. But Turkie runs away after Oscar shoots at it. Oscar shoots and Turkie runs away, and Oscar declares vengeance on the turkey, and he says a line that the first time I listened to, I thought he was implying that he considered the dog his wife.
Oh, no.
But after I scrubbed through it the second time, he said,
Why? Why? Where's my wife? No, you Flashy! Damn you, Turkie! Damn you!
So is that implying that Turkie killed his wife at some point?
I think he's just saying that his wife did die. And now his dog has been murdered by a turkey.
Honestly, the way the writing has been going, I'm not putting it past anything.
Yeah.
But we get back to Kristen, who kind of wanders away from the group and calls her dad to let him know that she's not going to be home.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes across Turkie. We get more turkey vision. She screams, which evidently stuns Turkie long enough for her to run away. He calls her a meanie.
I'm gonna drink your blood like cranberry sauce, meanie.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing about the turkey is this turkey has what I would define as a potty mouth. But when he calls her a meanie, that was funny. If they had made this thing like completely like if he never dropped an F-bomb, never said a swear, and instead called people then it would have been hilarious.
Meanies and butt faces.
Yeah,
and stuff
that
like
would have been freaking hysterical.
That would have been really funny.
But this is the only time that happens.
Yeah.
No, she gets back to the camp. Nobody believes her that when she tells them that Darren's story is real. In fact, Darren even ridicules her. He seemed pretty freaked out earlier, but now apparently it was all just a ghost story.
He implies that he made it up.
But he didn't. Because that's how it worked. Like, they later on, they're like, we're gonna go... Anyway. And then a bunny suddenly jumps into the fire with a weird little scream, and I gotta admit, that made me laugh. The little scream it makes while it jumps.
Yeah, and it's such an obviously fake prop that it's kind of funny.
Yeah, so like
especially when they light it on fire.
Yeah, it jumps into the fire, but it just goes, whoa, and then jumps into the fire, and that I laughed. I will admit, I laughed. Darren examines the burning bunny and determines that its stomach was torn open by a turkey beak. Billy ridicules the rest, and so they all decide to go to bed. And during the scenes, it keeps giving us ridiculously close-up shots of the burning rapid puppet for some reason.
Yeah.
And then we get another commercial break, which was...
welcome.
So welcome.
Sell me your stuff, Kroger. I need it. Talk about it all you want. I will buy your bananas.
Billy, who didn't get the luxury of a tent, wakes up the next morning with Oscar looming over him with a rifle. Oscar tells him that he is Billy's guardian angel because he protected Billy from the turkey somehow. This is made evident by the fact that Billy has turkey poop on his chest.
Which is quite obviously just painted marshmallows.
Yeah. Oscar walks off, and Billy's friends make fun of him. They make fun of Billy for being freaked out. Because Billy is now a believer in the story because turkey pooped on him. And they all decide to leave. We get a scene where Turkey approaches the highway and a man pulls his car over to pick the turkey up like he's a hitchhiker.
Yeah. There are far too many people in this movie who are just willing to accept that the turkey is a person. And not a turkey.
Yeah. He makes, see, again, that might be funny.
It's very, Chicken Boo.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would be hilarious if, for one thing, they kept it consistent through the entire movie, and they knew that they were making that joke.
Yeah,
I don't think they do.
Yeah, no, because the joke here is that he seems to be making some concerning comments that seem to suggest that he wants to fuck the turkey.
It's not suggesting that he wants to fuck the turkey. It outright states this man is going to fuck this turkey.
Yeah, he unzips his pants to do exactly that.
Yeah.
The turkey has a rifle, though, and points it at the man. I don't know where he got the rifle, but he's got that rifle.
When you describe it in terms of a Looney Tunes cartoon, it's kind of funny. But it's just the execution is not there.
Yeah.
But it's okay, this turkey is pulling a chicken boo, and then he pulls a rifle out of hammer space. That's funny shit.
Yeah, the man freaks out. He's like, please don't kill me. I've got a daughter. And then we get this weirdly uncomfortable scene of the turkey call your daughter. And he calls her and he's like, don't worry, honey. I'm going to be home soon.
Yeah.
Give your mom a kiss. And then Turkey shoots him.
Yeah, all of a sudden it turns into No Turkey for Old Men.
Yeah, it's am I supposed to feel sympathy for this turkey fucker? I don't know. Anyway, back to the kids. They drop off Allie, who hits on Johnny again, and Kristen makes the same leg and
the exact same John Benet Ramsey joke.
Yeah, she makes the exact same John Benet Ramsey joke, which this time gets a very unproportionally positive result from her friends.
Yeah.
They just go on and on about how funny that was.
It's like her legs are harder to shut than the John Benet Ramsey case.
Oh, shit! Dang! Damn, that was good! Oh.
Bye, guys.
Shit, that was good! It was, man. That was a good one. Oh, God.
Which, again, I think is supposed to be the joke that the first time they heard it, it wasn't all that. I don't know. I didn't even catch the first... Anyway.
It's an insane choice that they made for this movie.
Yeah. Johnny heads home and meets with his parents, and this is where we officially learn that his father has all but disowned him for, and
Not
I quote,
footballing hard enough.
yeah, for making second string quarterback. Johnny decides to lie to his father and tells him that he actually got starting quarterback, and they reconcile. There's also a weird fart joke in that they just play a fart noise when his father stands up. I don't know why.
I thought I imagined it, or it was one of the dogs. Like one of my dogs.
Nope, it was
No,
in
it's
the
in the
movie.
movie.
It is in the movie. But yeah, they reconcile, and then Turkey suddenly shows up, slits his dad's throat, and cuts off his head, and tosses it to Johnny, who, Johnny, like, runs to his house and finds that Turkey apparently also got to his mom. She's, like, missing her eye or something.
She has a slit throat, and her eyes are covered in bad makeup.
Yeah. Johnny drives away, swearing vengeance on the turkey, because basically his Thanksgiving is ruined.
Yeah, and once again, it's so close to being a funny gag.
It brings it into it. Yeah, he's like,
Why, God? Why? No more pumpkin pie? No more cranberry sauce? Just turkey. Fucking turkey. I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch. He is fucking dead!
Yeah.
you're so close.
You're so close, guys.
But
maybe just ditch the 3 of the 5 writers. And you can pull it home.
yeah, I don't think Schultz's talents in this movie really benefited it all that much. Anyway,
who knows what's responsible for what, but it's like...
Yeah, I am making some wild accusations based off of the off of this man's repertoire. From what I've seen, and I only read the title, so I could be wrong. But anyway, Johnny collects the others and then heads for Allie's house, and we cut to Allie getting boned by some guy. You know, this is where she's face down on the bed, and they're having some sex, and this is the screenshot that is used for this actress's name when you type it into Google.
Yeah. I'm not sure how a puppet can give a shit-eating grin, but when Turkey blocks, like, the camera view from actually showing any other nudity or actual penetration, that puppet has a shit-eating grin on his face.
Yeah, he does. He makes some sort of Thanksgiving pun about pie, and then he kills the guy and takes over.
Yeah, there's a turkey fuck scene in this movie, Matt.
Yeah, I know. Well, we got a tease earlier, so now we got the real deal.
We had to watch a movie where a turkey fucks a woman. That's something that is gonna...
It's there. It's there. You can't take it back now.
Yeah, that's part of our canon now.
There's a reason that I was apologizing to you while I was watching this.
I wouldn't even at home the first time you're watching this and you're sending me texts like, oh, I'm sorry, this sucks. And I'm like, okay. And then I got home, I was like, you didn't apologize enough.
But then Turkey snaps her neck, and that's the end of Allie, mercifully. It's our first big character death. And by the time that Johnny and the others have arrived, Turkey has fled, and he's left a feather and
An extra small, gravy-flavored condom.
Turkey got a small dick.
Isn't that
Do you
funny?
get it?
It's hilarious, and it's gravy flavored because it's Thanksgiving.
Because it's Thanksgiving and he's a turkey, and sometimes you have gravy with turkey.
Darren tries making the same John Benet Ramsey joke, and
he doesn't even tell it right. Like, he tells it wrong.
Yeah, he tells it wrong.
And I guess that's what's supposed to be funny because nobody responds to it. And it's like, no, it just wasn't funny the first time. It's no less funny this time.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's the last time we get that joke.
Yeah. I don't know why they thought they needed to go for a 3-fer on this, but they did.
Yep. They then kind of determined that Kristen's dad has a collection of books about this turkey legend or something.
First, they say they're going to the library, and what is kind of an awesome line read where Darren goes to Billy like,
Remember all of those books that I was telling you that were written about this turkey?
Yeah, so?
Well, fuck, Billy, we go to the library!
which is kind of was a fun line read.
All right. So, but yeah, then they determined that Kristen's dad has the collection of books.
Yeah.
I stopped. This is a part where I just kind of zoned out. I was like, I don't care anymore.
He's got a lot of books, so therefore he's got a book about turkey zombies that murder people.
Yeah. So they decide to head over there and check it out in hopes of finding out a way of killing the turkey.
Yeah.
And then we have another merciful commercial break.
Yeah.
Then we get to Sheriff Roud, who is preparing for his Thanksgiving banquet.
Yeah,
or
police benefit ball or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and he's dressed as a turkey. He answers, like, there's a knock at the door, and he goes and he answers it, and it's Turkey wearing Groucho Marx glasses.
So you see, it's funny because the man is dressed as a turkey and the turkey is dressed like a man. It's the duality of humanity. Turkey and man. Combined. Turkey man.
Turkey asks to see Kristen, and then the two share a cup of coffee, which
It's
started
so close!
It's that whole thing of like, this isn't a turkey, it's a normal man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
because he's wearing the Groucho Marx glasses. But they had to sprinkle in that little bit of insensitivity humor about height impaired people.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, God, really? But after, like, Roud makes and again, a legitimately kind of funny thing about, like,
Man, what an odd little duck.
All right, that does it.
so close to being hilarious.
It's, oh my God. Because, like, that whole scene where they're just, because Turkey's, like, pretending to be one of Kristen's friends. And he's like, oh, is Kristen here? And so Brown invites him in for that coffee. And they're just sitting at that table for what is, like, an unfathomable amount of time for a 60-minute movie.
Yeah.
Just talking at each other and having, like, awkward parent-friend conversation.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of legitimate funny humor
Right.
in that, because it's like Turkey sneezes and he's just like, oh, it's allergies because of the damn season. And then well, actually he drops the F-bomb, and then Roud is like, should you be cursing like that? And Turkey's like, what? Small people can't curse? And he's like, no,
It's not the height, it's the
age.
It's the age.
And he's like, how old are you to be cursing? Oh, I'm 500 years old. Oh, never mind, you're probably good then. And it's like,
you could say fuck all you want.
yeah, like, okay.
Yeah,
That's funny.
It's so close. I think that's what's infuriating is, like, it keeps cock teasing you with funny bits and then pulling away, and you have comedy blue balls.
But
I'm so mad.
So Kristen ends up heading home, and she knocks on her own door for some reason. I think it was just so that Turkey could answer the door while wearing the sheriff's face.
Yeah.
Which dupes everybody. Again, kind of a funny gag.
Yeah.
You're getting there. You're getting there, movie.
Yeah.
You just got to push a little further. But they end up going to the garage, and again, there's also kind of a funny scene, a puzzling but funny little bit of joke where the turkey is trying to pretend to be the dad.
Yeah.
Without letting them on that he's a turkey.
Yeah.
And they're trying to research that they're trying to kill the turkey without letting him on that like it's this kind of thing where they're both trying to keep information from each other.
Because the kids don't think that the dad will believe them that there's a killer turkey on the loose.
Right.
So they're like, oh, we're just looking at books.
Yeah, so like again, there's something there. But instead we get this really dumb montage of them searching through through boxes for the books. And you get get it? The fat guy is eating instead of reading.
Yeah, and Darren's teaching him to read through like a little golden book. And at one point he's reading a book upside down.
And then, well, I guess they find the book during the montage, and Darren learns that the turkey has a magical talisman hiding in its feathers and is therefore invincible until somebody removes the talisman. And
yeah,
the rest of the book is for some reason written in code, which turns out to be a mathematical code, and of course, the nerd is the one who can crack it. Ah, so funny.
This movie hurt me.
Billy gets fed up, ends up finding the sheriff's body, and kind of discovers the ruse. The turkey then issues a couple of slurs before spouting nonsense about disrespect.
Yeah,
and that one. That was hard. Like the first slur hit, he uses the R word, and it's just like, ooh, don't do that. And then he immediately turns around and uses the F slur, and it's like, okay, just shut up. Bad. After the turkey spouts this nonsense about disrespecting Native Americans after being insanely insensitive, Billy grapples Turkey, and the kids
puts the turkey in a headlock.
Yeah, and then the kids get the talisman from him. They find it in his feathers. I'm lost in the weeds as to why that was important. But Billy is, after this, like, the turkey leaves, he flees, and Billy is just pretty much fed up with this entire movie
Just
and
fucking
just,
exits
and
the
just
movie.
walks. And Johnny just kind of proclaims that he's going to die, and it's like, yeah, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Darren cracks the code, because of course he does, and learns that they have to recite a ritual
Backwards.
They have to recite some dark ritual backwards and burn the turkey at the stake or whatever. I don't care anymore.
It's very complicated for how to get rid of this.
Again,
bird.
that's supposed to be the joke.
Right.
It's not funny.
No.
We cut to a scene. Billy's walking down the street, and Turkey illusions himself to look like a cartoon roast turkey, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I don't get it.
And Billy picks it up and then vores that whole turkey whole, I think. The effects are really bad. Like,
I think that's what's going on
like
there.
he's supposed to be eating it, but it's like this cartoon overlay of this roast turkey, and as it's going into his mouth, they just
It evaporates.
They make it go away, and there's nothing in Billy's hands.
Yeah.
Like, I was honestly, like, the first time I watched this, I was surprised that it didn't turn out to be like dog shit or something that he was eating.
Right.
But the implication, I guess, is that it's supposed to be turkey, because then turkey bursts out of his chest using the rifle.
So he ate the rifle, too.
Yeah, it's just... And this is where you were talking about, like, the bursting out of his chest...
It doesn't look bad.
It's not bad.
No.
The others end up coming across Billy, and then Billy gets a send-off sequence.
This was so baffling.
It lasted over 3 minutes, and it felt like it was 10.
Yeah, like I said, when I watched this, I totally skimmed over the fact that Billy and Darren were supposed to be friends. So I thought that Darren was just giving this, like, really romantic send-off song to this guy who was just terrible to him.
Right, yeah. Honestly, may have been a slight bit more funny, I guess, but they push it too hard, because it's like, they keep telling each other that they're each other's best friends, and that they'll only have good times and no bad times, and it just keeps going on and on. They keep repeating these things, and it's like,
and they're like feeding ice cream to each other.
Yeah, there's a
playing
sequence
on the swings.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, and it's so And then I really wish that they would stop giving me this close up of the terrible prop design of what's supposed to be Billy's innards just kind of spilling out. It didn't look good to me.
Yeah, it's one of those things where in quick shots it looks fine,
Mm-hmm.
but when you focus on it for that long, you start seeing like what it actually is, and it doesn't.
Yeah, but not only does it focus on it, it freaking zooms in on it several times. And then we cut to Turkey eating a salad for some reason. He's eating and tossing a salad, heart.
Like the only thing I could think about this was that one clip from Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's like, "Oh boy, Tazzy, you sure do toss a mean salad."
Maybe, I don't know,
but it's just like
But then the remaining kids find the turkey's teepee, and I can't help but wonder whose actual bed sheets they used to make that teepee.
It looks bad.
They find it on the side of the road, and they ambush Turkey and tie him up. He drops another R slur. They read the incantation, which makes him vulnerable, I guess, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't care.
This fucker's playing by leprechaun rules at this point.
Yeah, Oscar randomly shows up. He's got like a bandana eye patch thing going on.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. I wonder if there was like a cut scene where he fought the turkey and the turkey took his eye, or
maybe they shouldn't have cut that. Maybe they should. No, I'm glad they did.
I was gonna say, you want this movie to be longer? You son of a bitch! You actual monster!
Oscar shows up and shoots Turkey into a garbage can, which we later learn is filled with radioactive material for whatever. We get our final merciful commercial break.
And it's so close to the end of the movie. It's so close. It's like within 8 minutes of the end of the movie.
10. I checked. Okay. Because that commercial break hit, and I was like, am I almost done with this? And I looked, I was like, oh, thank God, I can make it through 10 minutes.
And
the three end up heading back to Kristen's house to watch some movies.
And they're watching Night of the Living
Dead. Yep.
And it breaks that cardinal rule of never show a better movie in your shitty movie.
Kristen and Johnny pretty much immediately begin making out, and this makes Darren uncomfortable for some reason.
Oh, it's because he's not getting with anybody.
Yeah, this makes Darren uncomfortable. I meant to say that with more sarcasm. This makes
Oh.
Darren uncomfortable for some reason.
Oh, okay.
So he leaves. But, I mean, it's also weird because they sit down on the couch and they literally all three of these people sit on exactly half of the couch. They're just all cuddled together.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be like the closing thing of the movie until Turkey comes back or whatever.
You know that Turkey is coming
Well,
back.
yeah, but it's just like, okay, now all three of them are friends, even though
Then
their
again-
families have been brutally murdered.
Yeah. Then again, though, that would have been, I have to argue, that would even have been a funnier way of ending this
Right.
movie. Like, they shoot the turkey and they make a big deal of like, no, you can't, you have to burn him at the sea, you have to follow this ritual.
And he's
or else-
radioactive.
they're like, you have to burn him at the stake and you have to recite the ritual or else who knows what could happen. And
Yeah.
It's like, well, they shot him. And it'd been hilarious if that was a little
If that was
legitimately
just
how
how
you
it
killed it.
ended,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, but
that would have been a really funny ending.
right.
And then it just ends on the three of them like sitting on the couch watching Night of the Living Dead and eating popcorn.
Yeah, that would have been freaking hilarious.
And the camera just zooms out and smash to credits.
But instead, they start making out. Darren gets up to go pee and then raids the fridge, and he's, of course, attacked by the now radioactive and revived turkey.
And this is where the special effects go right in the toity.
They are so bad.
Like, they didn't want to paint the puppet green.
Yeah, because I had
And
to
I
know...
understand because, like, now that you've mentioned that
Yeah.
the director and the writer made it himself and, like, put work into it, he probably wants to just keep the puppet.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're not afraid of mutilating the puppet because it still has the gunshot wound on it. But, yeah, I think it was just, like, they wanted to make it sure it looked radioactive. Instead, it looks like it has a really, really bad green overlay on it.
Which it does.
It's just, well, exactly. It's bad.
Yeah.
Turkey eats Darren's tongue out and then furiously pecks at his heart, kills Darren for whatever reason.
He pecks out his heart.
He pecks out his heart
Because it lands on the kitchen floor and beats for a little bit. And then I do think it's really funny because they show Billy like welcoming Darren into heaven, and Billy just says, "There's no turkeys up here." That's once again funny line read.
See, I missed that one actually.
Come on, Darren. Come on. God's waiting. Come on. No turkeys up here, Darren. Come on.
It's a good line read.
So we then cut back to Johnny and Kristen, who are now passed out on the couch. Johnny wakes up with a bad feeling that the turkey may have somehow survived because he bets the trash can could have been filled with radioactive waste. And get it? It's funny because that's what happened.
Yeah.
He goes to check on Darren and is stabbed by an electric turkey carver.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, see, that's the other thing, too. Like, the turkey didn't start using, like, turkey-related weaponry until this last scene.
And they really should have, because, like, when he shoots the turkey thermometer into Darren's butt.
Yeah.
And, like, okay, it's like, that's kind of funny. It's turkey-related.
And then the turkey carver. And
yeah.
it's like... But until here, it was just tomahawks and
right.
rifles. And I mean, I guess maybe tomahawk has that kind of cultural, like, relationship with Native Americans and turkeys, and then rifles because of turkey hunting. I don't know.
He uses a machete, too, though, at one point.
Turkey's natural enemy is the machete. Everybody knows this.
Okay. I am honestly surprised that they didn't parody, like, the Mr. Bean Thanksgiving scene where he gets the turkey on his head.
Yeah, now, like,
like, he suffocates somebody like that, or something like that.
And that would be a low-hanging fruit, because then they could make a head up the ass joke.
Why didn't they do that?
My guess is that the puppet is not, like,
Stretchy
it's not a full
enough?
puppet.
Yeah.
It's not a
It's
full
just a
turkey.
little hand
It's just
puppet.
a hand puppet with feathers and stuff.
Yeah,
Because you don't ever see turkeys bottom
legs.
half.
No.
So
You just
that's
see
probably part of it.
His
but
head and, like, the tail feathers. But,
Can't help but wonder if the crew were kicking themselves for not being able to do that joke. I guarantee you it came across.
like, it had to have, because that is so obvious. Like that,
Mhm.
yeah.
We get some more turkey vision. Turkey chases Kristen and Johnny out to a shack, and she ends up torching Turkey with a lighter and some aerosol spray. Lighting him on fire.
And he is miserable.
Yeah.
He hates this.
Johnny has a send-off that we really can't hear because the music is too loud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna make it. I'm sorry. I wish I could call a timeout for this one.
Stop it. Shut up.
You did good. You survived. That's all that matters. Understand? I love you.
I love you too.
And then he dies. reminding her that the turkey has to be killed by a stake to the fire,
Right.
or like burned
Burn
at
like
the
a
stake
witch.
like a witch, and she like
Has a pyre in her backyard.
Yeah, she's got a pyre in her backyard. But I also want to deduct points from this movie for not using the movie title in either of the one-liners she gives.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, happy
They-
ThanksKilling and then whack. It's like, okay, that would have been a point. But no, instead we get,
Roast in hell, asshole.
Oh, fuck.
and
Peck on someone your own size.
you could... It's there in the name of the movie. You already you used it once. Use it again.
Yeah.
That's what that's the type of joke where you repeat it enough times it becomes funny.
Yeah.
Not
The
anyway.
John Benet Ramsey thing.
Yeah. So, she gulps the flaming turkey into a nearby pyre, and it drops a cooked turkey leg. Oscar also shows up to congratulate her, and she eats the leg. And then we cut to a random family.
Who the fuck are these people?
They're I tried to look up. They're listed in the credits, and I'm pretty damn sure that they are Downey's like friends and family.
Okay.
Two of them, their last names are Downey.
Well, okay.
And then the other two have same last
Maybe
names.
they're related to Iron Man. You don't know.
Maybe he is. I don't know either. I have no idea.
Iron Man
It's just-
directed this movie.
But yeah, they're eating this Thanksgiving meal, and while they're praying, the cooked turkey stands up and in Turkey's voice says that it'll be back for the sequel, which is apparently in space.
Yeah.
Because that's what it says. I read in the in some of the trivia that they actually did not actually plan for a sequel, so this
really?
was supposed to be its own joke.
That would have been funnier.
Yeah, but no, there is a sequel.
But what they
Now-
ended up doing is kind of funny.
So yeah, we let's touch on that a little bit now that the movie's wrapped up.
Worth
So
talking about, I think.
I didn't read into the reasons why, mostly because, God help me, I plan on covering the sequel at some point in time for another
Probably next Thanksgiving.
episode. I don't know if I'm quite ready that soon, but but anyway, so I didn't research into why, but you know, go ahead, you can.
Well, it's like, okay, they pinned out the sequel. Like, they made the script and everything, but never shot it. So they just jumped ahead to ThanksKilling 3. And that's the one they made.
Yeah, so the ThanksKilling sequel, the direct one to this is ThanksKilling 3.
Right, there is no ThanksKilling 2.
Which is kind of funny.
It's kind of funny, yeah, that's clever.
There's also a musical.
I hadn't heard about that.
I didn't until I was researching this. There is a ThanksKilling musical.
Oh, sure, why not? They're like, but they can do musicals about anything anymore.
So
The Beetlejuice musical's amazing. Maybe this is good too.
So that was ThanksKilling.
It was. It was, man. Yeah, this one hurt.
Like I said, it's not a Chris and Matt movie.
No.
It is, again, if you for whatever reason enjoyed this movie and stuck
If
through
this
to
is-
this through this long
Yeah.
in this podcast, more power to you.
If this is your bag, that is amazing. I'm glad you found something you can enjoy in life.
yeah,
Like, chase your bliss, like, wherever you can.
no, I found this hard to get
If
through.
this was any longer, I don't think I could have made it.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching this before you had and we were texting, I was worried that you were gonna tell me, no, I can't do it.
It was close.
And thank you
was
for doing
close.
that, because I honestly didn't know what I was going to do with that.
I would have just sat here and, like, just stared slack-jawed at you the entire time as you described it to me.
I guess that could have worked. But, oh man, it's...
This was the anti-joy for me. Like, this was...
Yeah. So, I guess we'll head over to the crunch.
Yeah, we've had our meat and potatoes. Now we're gonna go get our veggies.
So welcome back.
It's been a while.
We're recording this the next day.
We had to take a break. Had to take some time to ourselves.
Yeah, now that it's been a day,
Reflect
and
on life.
we've been able to sleep on it, Chris.
Yeah.
Have our opinions changed on
No.
this movie? No, they
No.
haven't. No.
No. Why would you even ask that?
You didn't even let me give me a chance to interrupt myself.
Yeah, because I knew what the question was going to be, and I knew what the answer was. It was no. Why would it be anything else?
All right. However, despite the fact that we didn't enjoy this movie very much, I had a lot of fun with the crunch on this.
Uh-huh.
This stupid turkey gave me a lot to work with. So let's dive in because I don't want this to run too long. So,
Okay.
I created the Hell Turkey. I
Okay.
could not come up with a better name. I think that it was just because I didn't care enough at the
Yeah.
time.
That's fine.
But he is a small fiend who is chaotic evil. Armor class of 10. Hit points of 3d6. It's an average of 13.
He's a little boy.
He's a little boy. Speed of 20 because he's a turkey. And a puppet at that, so we don't even see him moving all that much.
I never see
in
his
the
legs,
movie.
as far as I know.
Yeah,
Like,
so he's got I based a lot of his stats off of the eagle stat block in the
sure.
so I gave him a little bit better strength. He's got 12 strength, 12 in dexterity. He's obviously a smart turkey, you know,
For a
capable
turkey.
of human speech.
Right.
So he's got an intelligence of 13 and I gave him a charisma of 16.
that seems high.
It does seem high until you realize that a man wants to fuck this turkey.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and he's also, he's got some skills and things that back this up. So that's why he has such a high charisma. He does have double proficiency in all of his skills, which are deception, performance, and stealth.
Okay.
Now this is where things get a little buck wild.
Yeah.
He's got damage resistances to pretty much everything except for fire.
Okay.
and you'll see more of the puzzle coming together as we move on. But yeah, so that's kind of part of where he becomes a challenge rating 3 with only having 13 hit points. The other part is his abilities here. First off, he's a natural born killer. The Hell Turkey has proficiency with any weapon that it picks up.
Okay.
I mean, we see him picking up a lot of different weapons in the movie. And short of giving him attacks for each individual weapon from the movie, I figured this would be the easier way.
Okay.
Secondly, he's got a radioactive form. When the Hell Turkey is reduced to 0 hit points for the first time, it transforms into the radioactive Hell Turkey with all of its hit points. We'll get to that stat block in a moment. He also has innate spellcasting, spell DC of 13, plus 5 to hit with spell attacks, and it can innately cast the following spells requiring no material components. Friends, Minor Illusion, and Thaumaturgy at will.
Okay.
And then once a day, it can cast Charm Person and Disguise Self.
Okay.
I figured that encapsulated pretty well the different shenanigans that we see in this movie.
Yeah.
Now,
I can get that.
His actions, he's got multi-attack, and he can take 3 peck attacks.
Okay.
He's got a battle axe, pretty standard, deals about 6 damage, 6 slashing. He's got a rifle. Now, this one was a little bit more of a strange pull. The rifle statistics in the in D&D, it's 2d10 plus 1, so this rifle packs a pretty good punch for this low of a creature, 12 piercing damage. And then he's got his back attack, which deals 4 average damage.
Okay.
So, now, he's also a legendary creature.
Jesus,
because there are legends written about him. He has literature in the book.
God, I guess so.
So he is a legendary creature. He has the 3 following legendary actions that he can take. Spellcasting, so he can cast one of his at-will spells.
Okay.
The peck attack, the Hell Turkey makes 1 peck attack. And finally, the last ability that he has that costs 2 actions called Insufferable. Basically representative of every time this turkey opens his mouth in the movie.
Okay.
All creatures that can hear and see the Hell Turkey must make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or take 6d6 psychic damage, or half as much on a successful save. But the bonus is because he is so irritating that any creature within 5 feet of the Hell Turkey may spend its reaction to take an attack of opportunity on it.
Sure.
Which is why he does so much damage with that psychic damage. There's a drawback. So you want to get in close to this turkey and make him shut up.
Yeah, sure.
So that's my Hell Turkey. Let's move right along to the radioactive Hell Turkey.
Let's.
I didn't change a huge amount. He's got mostly the same statistics. I upped his strength a little bit because movie radioactivity.
Right.
I did remove 2 of his skills. Those
he can't
being
perform as well now that he's glowing.
Exactly. He's not as good at that. I still gave him the stealth skill because he sneaks up on Darren in the movie. Then again, He's glowing, so I might need to do a few things. Maybe, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking I might need to give him disadvantage on all stealth checks.
Yeah.
Let me do that. Hold
Okay.
on. So yeah, he does still have his proficiency in stealth.
Okay.
He still has his damage resistances, and now he has, and he still has the natural born killer ability. But now he is glowing. The radioactive Hell Turkey has disadvantage on stealth checks. So even though he's proficient in them, he's he's glowing.
Right.
And then finally, he's got a cooked form. When the radioactive Hell Turkey is reduced to 0 hit points for the first time, it transforms into the cooked Hell Turkey with all its hit points.
Oh my god.
We'll get to that in a moment.
Right, sure.
His attacks are pretty similar, just slightly modified.
Yeah.
Instead of, he's still got the multi-attack and the peck attack, which the peck attack now deals twice as much damage.
Okay, because he's radioactive.
Because he's radioactive and he pecks out a heart.
Yeah.
But he's also got the Carver, which is the melee weapon attack. It's 2d6 plus 2 piercing damage, and he's got a dart instead of a rifle, which actually does less damage because it's a dart, not a rifle.
That's still a lot of damage for a dart, though.
2d8 plus 1 piercing damage. He
Yeah.
throws it pretty hard. He's still a legendary creature, so he
Of
still
course.
has legendary actions. This time, a little bit more subdued. He's got the dart and the peck attacks that he can make. And then for two actions, he doesn't really do any bantering while he's radioactive as much. So he no longer has the insufferable ability. Instead, he's got the furious peck ability. The radioactive Hell Turkey makes a peck attack. If the attack hits, the radioactive Hell Turkey can repeat this attack against the same target until the attack misses.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
That could be very deadly.
Right? So, he pecks out a heart in the
Yeah.
movie, so that's kind of where that's going. And then finally, we've got the cooked Hell Turkey. Armor class of 8, 3 hit points, speed of 5 feet, 2 in strength, 2 in dexterity. This guy he's a cooked turkey. What are you gonna do?
Right.
I did increase his charisma to 18 because, like, no matter how you feel about turkey, a cooked turkey looks tasty. So-
Yeah, I guess that's justification.
And his only ability in action is the slam. He plus 2 to hit, 1 bludgeoning damage.
Sure.
He's got a challenge rating of 0.
Yeah.
And then we move on
Oh my god.
to the magic item that I created for our Hell Turkey.
Yeah.
The Turkey Totem. It's a wondrous item, legendary, and requires attunement by a turkey. The only reason that I had that is so that players couldn't get a hold of this thing and to be invincible.
Right.
Because this carved wooden totem resembles a stylized turkey wielding an axe. I didn't look up to see exactly what the totem looked like in the movie because I didn't care enough and I did not want to load that movie up again, but I figured this kind of fits.
That's fine.
You lose attunement to this item when you are no longer carrying it. While
When
attuned,
you are no longer a turkey.
Yep. Or that. While attuned, you have immunity to all damage.
Oh no.
So
This turkey's dynamite.
yep, so that's why he's got such low HP.
Right.
Not only the resistances, but you give him this and he's invincible until it's wrestled from his person.
Yeah.
And then finally, I also made a spell. Now this one is pretty bog standard, I think. I'm not a good. I can make monsters. I cannot make anything else usually. So this might be broken. I don't know. But we've got the spell Remove Resistance. This is representing the incantation that they speak in the movie to remove the turkey's invincibility. Where I guess because in the movie the totem was giving him it's fuzzy, so that's why I did the immunity and then resistances. But this is a first level abjuration spell that can be cast as a ritual because of course.
Mm-hmm.
But normally casting time is 1 minute. Range is unlimited.
Wow.
Basically you choose a target, and no matter where that target is, they're going to be affected by this spell.
Yeah.
The caveat here is that the components are vocal and material. The material being a biological part of the target that you want. So, like a lock of hair or a feather.
Uh-huh.
And that item is burned and consumed by the spell.
Okay.
And for the next 24 hours, when you cast the spell, you choose a target. The target loses any damage resistances it had during the spell's duration.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm first level might be a little too.
I have
yeah.
no idea how to balance spells.
Neither do I. So hopefully that doesn't come across too broken. And then your players, turn around and use the spell to nerf
Right.
massively powerful enemies. But again, I think that the caveat of having to
The
have
material.
having to have a part of that might help negate that. I don't know. But I also wanted, like, this turkey is a challenge rating 3. I wanted the spell to be accessible to a level 3 character.
Right.
So that was kind of my reasoning behind this.
I think it's fine, but I would have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, so if we have any spellmasters out there who are listening to this, feel free to at me or just yell at us, whatever. Feel free to get a hold of us and let me know that this might be incredibly broken or not. I don't know. But at the same time, this is fucking ThanksKilling.
Yeah.
I barely give a shit. And there you have it.
You put in a lot more effort than I thought.
Well, like I said, I started working with it, and I'm like, well, dang, this movie, it gave me a lot to work with. More so,
He's a busy guy.
well, and I think that there's a direct correlation to the quality of the movie, or at least the genre of the movie, and the number of things that I've been able to do. Because a legitimate horror movie, a good monster movie, you actually don't see a whole lot of the monster.
Right.
So you don't know what they can do, because that is where the horror comes from, the mystery and the questioning. Whereas a goof movie like this, you see quite a bit of it, and you see him doing goofy shit, because...
it's a cartoon, essentially.
Exactly,
Just
so...
not very good.
And, I mean, well, yeah, it is a cartoon. And I would not want to fight a cartoon character.
No.
I would die, because I am not a cartoon character. Like, that's all there is to it.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, that's what I got, Chris.
That's what you got.
That is what I've got. Do you have anything to add? Any notes?
No, I got nothing. I'm ready to
You don't want to
put this turkey in the ground. We've spent 2 days on this turkey, Matt. I'm done with it.
Well,
I mean, I know that after Thanksgiving, there's always leftovers, but this is ridiculous.
so that was our show. Happy Thanksgiving for everybody who celebrates it. Happy regular Thursday for everybody who doesn't.
Yeah.
Eat a turkey anyway. I don't care. So yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter at Creature Crunch. Hit us up on our Patreon, Creature Crunch, as well. There. We're not doing a Critter Kibbles for this episode. I
No,
pretty much laid it all out in the episode proper, and yeah, we're not doing...
for our bonus episodes, we're not doing a second bonus episode.
Yeah, that would be redundant.
And that's way more effort than I ever want to put in for fucking ThanksKilling.
Yeah. So you can also reach us at creaturecrunchpodcasts@gmail.com. Chris,
Yo.
if anybody wants to find you and yell at you about this movie, about
my turkey opinions,
about your turkey opinions, where can they do that at?
You can find me on Twitter at @thelibraryc. That's CEE.
And if you would like to yell at me about my turkey opinions or my bad spells, whatever, you can do so at Danny_Hamsteak on Twitter.
Yep.
So yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and
enjoy stuff that you enjoy.